Own your morning, elevate your life. This simple idea is the foundation of a revolutionary philosophy, one that can reshape your existence. Imagine proactively shaping your destiny before the world wakes up. Robin Sharma's 5 a.m. Club has transformed countless lives, guiding people from distraction to focus and fulfillment. The secret? The first hour of your day is sacred, a window for growth, intention, and clarity. It's not about working longer, but working smarter, using the quiet of dawn to set the tone for triumph. The journey begins with a single decision: rise early and dedicate that golden hour to becoming your best self. The 5 a.m. Club is a manifesto for personal mastery. How you start your day shapes your energy, creativity, and happiness. Waking up early isn't the goal, it's the gateway to the victory hour, a time of quiet and focus. Greatness is built through daily practice, not luck. By owning your morning, you automate excellence and build momentum before most people even wake up. This proactive routine makes you resilient and focused all day. We'll dive into the science, strategies, and frameworks that make this system so powerful. Embrace this routine, and you can become legendary, long before the sun is high. The 5 a.m. Club begins with a story: a burnt-out entrepreneur and a blocked artist, both searching for change. At a personal optimization conference, they meet a mysterious, eccentric billionaire who's mastered the art of mornings. He invites them on a journey, mentoring them in the habits that transformed his life. The lesson: exceptional lives are designed, not accidental. And it all starts with the first hour of the day. Small daily improvements lead to stunning results. As we follow their quest, you'll learn the same techniques and mental models. This is your invitation to re-engineer your life, starting with your morning. In a buzzing seminar, we meet our two protagonists: an artist who's lost his inspiration, and an entrepreneur on the brink of burnout. Both are desperate for change, hoping the event will reignite their passion and purpose. The artist's creativity has faded. The entrepreneur's success feels empty. They listen to the spellbinder, a renowned guru, absorbing lessons on mindset and productivity. Optimism flickers, but skepticism lingers. They've tried self-help before, only to fall back into old patterns. Surrounded by others seeking transformation, they wonder, will this time be different? Their presence is a testament to hope, a belief that a better life is possible. The stage is set for something extraordinary. On the final day, a disheveled man collapses in the audience. Our story's catalyst. The artist and entrepreneur rush to help, drawn by compassion. The stranger dismisses the seminar's teachings as superficial, hinting at deeper secrets to a legendary life. He speaks with conviction about the power of early mornings and mastering the 4 interior empires. His wisdom resonates, challenging their assumptions about success. As the hall empties, he reveals his true identity. Stone Riley, a billionaire who lives by these principles. His appearance is a choice, a reminder that wealth isn't about appearances. The protagonists are left stunned, realizing they've just been mentored by a master of transformation. Standing before them, the billionaire, Stone Riley, takes a moment to explain his philosophy a bit further. He believes that true wealth isn't measured in dollars, but in vitality, well-being, and the positive impact you have on the world. He's actually adopted this homeless disguise on purpose, to test people and see who has the kindness and humility to look past superficial appearances. The artist and the entrepreneur, by showing him compassion when he collapsed, had, in his eyes, passed his test. He saw in their simple act of kindness the seeds of greatness, the exact character traits needed to embrace a life of deep meaning and mastery. He recognized their hunger for something more, a genuine desire for transformation that goes way beyond just chasing success. With a warm smile, the billionaire then extends an extraordinary and truly life-changing invitation. He offers to become their personal mentor. And get this, he proposes to fly them on his private jet to his secluded island paradise in Mauritius. There, far away from the distractions and pressures of their everyday lives, he promises to teach them everything he knows. He says he'll reveal the complete system that allowed him to build his fortune, achieve peak physical and mental health, and honestly, find profound joy and peace. It's an offer that almost sounds too good to be true, something straight out of a movie, right? The choice is theirs. They can return to their old lives of quiet struggle, or take a leap of faith into the unknown. This invitation marks the true beginning of their journey, and it really serves as the central narrative device of the book. Robin Sharma uses this parable format to make his teachings accessible, engaging, and, unforgettable. Instead of just presenting a dry list of rules, he embeds these powerful life lessons inside a captivating story of adventure and discovery. As readers, we're invited to join the artist and the entrepreneur on this journey, learning right alongside them as the billionaire mentor unravels his secrets in exotic locations around the world. This storytelling approach ensures that the principles aren't just intellectually understood, but also emotionally felt, making them way more likely to stick. The key message delivered through this whole setup is clear and powerful. Great lives are not discovered by accident. They're meticulously constructed through dedicated practice and deliberate structure. The billionaire's mentorship isn't about a quick fix. It's about installing a new operating system for living, with the cornerstone being the mastery of the morning. The journey he offers is a chance to rebuild their lives from the ground up, starting with the most important habit of all, rising at 5 a.m. to cultivate their genius, fortify their spirit, and prepare themselves for a world-class day. For the artist and the entrepreneur, and for us, the adventure is just beginning. The journey continues as the billionaire Stone Riley starts to explain the foundational logic behind his entire philosophy. He asks the artist and the entrepreneur to consider one simple question: when is the world at its most peaceful? The answer, he reveals, is at 5 a.m. This particular hour is what he calls the hour of the Titans, a sacred pocket of time when honestly almost everyone else is still asleep. The constant barrage of digital noise, the emails, the social media alerts, the breaking news notifications, hasn't started its daily assault on our attention yet. The demands of colleagues, clients, and family are still hours away. At 5 a.m., the world offers a rare and precious gift, the gift of profound silence and tranquility. This quiet isn't just an absence of noise, it's a fertile ground for deep, uninterrupted thought and personal growth. Sharma, through The Billionaire, explains that this pre-dawn stillness is a powerful catalyst for creativity, clarity, and a connection with your truest self. In the quiet solitude, you can finally hear your own thoughts without the contaminating influence of the outside world. It's a time when the soul can awaken, letting you reflect on your values, your vision, and your purpose. This period of peace is an essential resource for anyone looking to produce world-class work or live a life of deep fulfillment. It's a time to work on yourself, for yourself, before you give your energy away to the world. The billionaire mentor emphasizes that this tranquility isn't a luxury. It's a necessity for peak performance in our hyper-distracted modern age. Most people go through their entire day in a state of reaction, constantly being pulled in a dozen different directions by external stimuli. They never have a moment to simply be, to think strategically, or to listen to their own intuition. By rising at 5 a.m., you deliberately carve out a sanctuary for yourself. You create a protective bubble of focus that lets you set a powerful and positive intention for the day ahead. This quiet time is where you can plan your victories, contemplate your gratitude, and really fortify your inner world before the chaos of the outer world begins. This is why the billionaire often repeats the phrase, "The tranquility of 5 a.m. is a gift to your greatness." He teaches that this hour isn't about punishing yourself with less sleep, but about rewarding yourself with a period of unmatched peace. It's an act of supreme self-care. It's in this silent, sacred space that you can cultivate the clarity and composure needed to navigate life's complexities with grace and wisdom. This is the first and most fundamental reason why the 5 a.m. Club is so transformative. It gives you back the one thing that modern life has stolen from so many, a moment of pure, undisturbed silence. Beyond the gift of silence, rising at 5 a.m. provides an immense psychological advantage. The billionaire explains to his protégés that by the time the average person is, groggily reaching for their alarm clock's snooze button, a member of the 5 a.m. Club has already achieved a series of significant personal victories. They have moved their body, reflected on their priorities, and invested in their personal growth. This simple act of waking up and executing a disciplined morning routine before most people have even started their day creates a powerful feeling of self-control and personal pride. You begin the day feeling proactive, not reactive, which honestly sets a victorious tone for the next 16 hours. This early morning discipline builds what Sharma refers to as self-respect. Every time you choose to get out of bed when it would be easier to stay under the warm covers, you are casting a vote for your best self. You are sending a powerful message to your subconscious mind that you are the kind of person who honors their commitments, especially the commitments they make to themselves. This repeated act of willpower strengthens your discipline muscle, making it easier to make other positive choices throughout the day. You have already won the first, and often most difficult battle of the day, the battle against mediocrity and the temptation of the easy path. According to Sharma, this psychological edge is a game changer. You've already won the morning while others are, in his words, sleeping through their lives. This isn't meant as a judgment on others, but as a statement about the opportunity cost of oversleeping. While others are passively letting the morning slip away, you are actively shaping your destiny. This creates a quiet confidence that, well, just radiates through your actions and interactions. You walk into your workplace or studio, not with the frantic energy of someone who is already behind, but with the calm, focused demeanor of someone who is in complete control. You have already invested in yourself, making you better equipped to handle whatever challenges the day may bring. This feeling of having a head start is incredibly motivating. It creates a positive feedback loop. The discipline of rising early makes you feel like a winner, and feeling like a winner makes it easier to maintain your discipline. The billionaire teaches the artist and the entrepreneur that most people fail to achieve their goals not because they lack talent, but because they lack the psychological fortitude built by small, consistent daily wins. The 5 a.m. routine is the ultimate keystone habit for building this winning mindset. It is a daily declaration that you are serious about your ambitions and committed to living a legendary life, one morning at a time. To solidify his point, the billionaire delves into the hard science that makes the 5 a.m. victory hour so incredibly effective. He explains that when you first wake up, your brain transitions from theta waves to alpha waves. In this alpha state, your conscious mind, the prefrontal cortex, often called the CEO of your brain, is temporarily less active. This phenomenon, which neuroscientists call transient hypofrontality, means your inner critic, your tendency to worry, and your habit of overanalyzing are all quieted down. This creates a perfect window of opportunity for creativity and insights to flow more freely. The usual mental chatter is silenced, allowing brilliant ideas to surface from your subconscious. Furthermore, waking at 5 a.m. allows you to leverage your natural brain chemistry for peak performance. The billionaire explains that when you engage in intense exercise first thing in the morning, you trigger a cascade of beneficial neurochemicals. This floods your brain with dopamine, the neurotransmitter of motivation, serotonin, the neurotransmitter of happiness and well-being, and norepinephrine, which heightens your focus. Simultaneously, this morning activity helps to flush out cortisol, the stress hormone that accumulates during sleep. This means you are chemically re-engineering your brain state for optimism, energy, and laser-like focus for the rest of the day. This state of flow and heightened cognitive function is difficult, if not impossible, to achieve later in the day when the prefrontal cortex is fully engaged and decision fatigue has set in. By mid-morning, your brain is already cluttered with the demands and distractions of the day, making deep creative work much more challenging. The 5 a.m. window is therefore a biological and neurological sweet spot. It is a time when your brain is uniquely primed for genius-level thinking and forming new, positive neural pathways. You are literally rewiring your brain for success before the rest of the world has even had its first cup of coffee. The billionaire stresses that this is not just abstract theory, it is a biological advantage that the world's top performers have intuitively understood for centuries. They may not have known the specific terms like transient hypofrontality, but they knew that their best ideas and most profound insights came to them in the quiet solitude of the early morning. By joining the 5 a.m. club, you are not just adopting a new habit, you are aligning your daily routine with the natural rhythms of your own biology. You are consciously creating the optimal neurochemical and psychological conditions for you to perform at your absolute best, every single day. Now we arrive at the very heart of the 5 a.m. club system, the practical, actionable protocol for how to structure your victory hour. The billionaire, Mr. Riley, explains that it is not enough to simply wake up at 5 a.m. What you do with that first hour is what truly separates the legendary from the ordinary. He introduces the 20-20-20 formula, a simple yet profoundly effective framework that divides the first 60 minutes of your day into 3 20-minute pockets. The first of these pockets, from 5 o'clock to 5:20 a.m., is dedicated to one crucial activity: move. This means engaging in intense, vigorous physical exercise that makes you sweat. This is non-negotiable. The purpose of this first block is to immediately shift your physiology and brain chemistry. The billionaire stresses that as soon as your feet hit the floor, you should put on your workout gear and get moving. This could be skipping, running on a treadmill, doing burpees, a spin class, or any form of exercise that significantly raises your heart rate. The goal is to break a sweat, as sweating cleanses the body of cortisol, the hormone of fear and stress, which is often at its highest level when you first wake up. By intentionally flushing out this cortisol, you begin your day not from a place of stress, but from a state of physiological calm and power, ready to embrace opportunities. This intense movement does more than just manage stress, it ignites your brain for peak performance throughout the day. The physical exertion triggers the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, which Sharma calls miracle grow for the brain. BDNF repairs brain cells damaged by stress and accelerates the formation of new neural pathways, making it easier to learn and think more clearly. At the same time, this pocket of exercise floods your system with dopamine, the neurotransmitter of motivation, and serotonin, which elevates your mood. You are essentially giving yourself a natural all-day boost of focus, energy, and happiness, setting an incredibly high baseline for the hours to come. The billionaire mentor makes it clear to the artist and the entrepreneur that this first 20-minute segment is the foundation upon which the rest of the day's success is built. It wakes up your body, clears your mind of mental fog, and primes your brain with the very neurochemicals needed for world-class creativity and productivity. It is the antidote to lethargy and the catalyst for vitality. By starting your day with intense movement, you are not just exercising your body, you are energizing your mind and fortifying your spirit for the journey ahead. This first pocket ensures you step into your day feeling alive, focused, and ready to win. Following the intense physical activity of the first pocket, the second 20-minute segment, from 5:20 a.m. to 5:40 a.m., is dedicated to reflection. After pushing your body, it is now time to ground your mind. The billionaire instructs his pupils to use this period for deep and quiet contemplation, away from any noise or digital distraction. This is a time for stillness and introspection, a crucial counterbalance to the high-energy movement that preceded it. The goal of this pocket is to cultivate self-awareness, gratitude, and clarity, ensuring that your actions for the day are aligned with your deepest values and most important goals. It is about moving from a state of physiological activation to one of profound emotional and mental peace. One of the most powerful practices for this reflection pocket is journaling. The billionaire provides the artist and the entrepreneur with beautiful journals and encourages them to write freely. This isn't about crafting perfect sentences, it's about a brain dump, getting all your worries, fears, hopes, and ideas out of your head and onto paper. This simple act externalizes your thoughts, allowing you to see them with greater objectivity and reducing mental clutter. He also teaches them to use this time to write down what they are grateful for. This practice of gratitude rewires the brain to focus on abundance rather than scarcity, fostering a state of happiness and contentment that attracts more positivity into your life. Beyond journaling, this pocket is also the ideal time for meditation or prayer. By sitting in silence and focusing on your breath, you train your attention and calm your nervous system. Meditation helps to dissolve the ego and connect you to a deeper sense of self, fostering a state of inner peace that you can carry with you throughout the day's inevitable storms. Alternatively, you can use this time for planning. You can review your long-term goals and then map out the 3 most important tasks you want to accomplish for the day ahead. This provides you with a clear roadmap, giving you control over your day before it has a chance to control you. The billionaire explains that this combination of clarity and calmness is the secret to masterful execution. While the first pocket prepares your physical and neurological state for action, this second pocket prepares your psychological and emotional state. It provides the strategic direction and emotional stability needed to navigate the day with grace and intention. By taking this time to connect with yourself, plan your day, and cultivate a sense of gratitude, you build a powerful inner fortress. You become less reactive to external events and more anchored in your own purpose, ready to execute your plans with focus and wisdom. The third and final 20-minute pocket of the Victory Hour, from 5:40 a.m. to 6 o'clock a.m., is dedicated to growth. After energizing your body and clarifying your mind, this segment is all about nourishing your intellect and expanding your knowledge base. The billionaire impresses upon the artist and the entrepreneur that the world's most successful and influential people are all perpetual learners. They understand that their personal and professional growth is directly tied to their commitment to learning something new every single day. As he famously states, to have more, you must first become more. This final pocket is your dedicated time to do just that, investing in the greatest asset you will ever have, your mind. There are many ways to utilize this growth segment. The most common and powerful method is reading. This could involve reading books from the great minds of history, biographies of people you admire, or literature on topics directly related to your field, such as business, art, science, or philosophy. Just 20 minutes of focused reading each day adds up to over 120 hours in a year, which is equivalent to reading dozens of books. This consistent intake of new ideas and perspectives ensures that you are constantly evolving, staying ahead of the curve, and deepening your expertise. It is a simple habit that compounds over time, yielding extraordinary returns on your knowledge and wisdom. If reading isn't your preference, this pocket is also perfect for listening to educational audiobooks or insightful podcasts. You can learn from the world's best teachers and thinkers while you are getting ready for the day. Another powerful practice for this segment is to review your personal goals. By looking at your yearly, quarterly, and monthly objectives every single morning, you keep them top of mind and reinforce your commitment to achieving them. You can also use this time to study an online course, learn a new language, or watch an educational video. The key is to be intentional about consuming content that elevates you and makes you better than you were yesterday. The billionaire concludes his lesson on the 20-20-20 formula by explaining that this final pocket solidifies your preparation for a world-class day. You have primed your body, clarified your mind, and now you have sharpened your intellect. As the old saying goes, victory loves preparation, and this 60-minute routine is the ultimate form of daily preparation. By the time 6 a.m. arrives, you have already invested in your physical health, your emotional well-being, and your intellectual capacity. You have built a powerful momentum that makes excellence your default state, not a rare occurrence. This is the complete system for owning your morning and beginning the process of elevating your life. As the mentorship with the billionaire continues, he reveals that many personal development gurus focus almost exclusively on a single aspect of human potential mindset. While cultivating a positive and resilient psychology is undeniably crucial, Mr. Riley explains that it is only one piece of a much larger puzzle. To achieve true, lasting, and holistic success, a state he refers to as being legendary, one must cultivate and master 4 distinct internal domains. He introduces this powerful concept as the 4 interior empires. This framework moves beyond the simplistic idea that positive thinking alone can solve all problems, offering a more complete and integrated model for human optimization. It is a blueprint for building an unshakable inner core. The billionaire teaches that neglecting any one of these empires will inevitably lead to imbalance and ultimately, failure. You might have the greatest mindset in the world, but if your physical health is poor, you will lack the energy to execute your brilliant ideas. You could be incredibly wealthy and physically fit, but if your emotional life is in turmoil, you will never experience true joy or fulfillment. This model emphasizes the interconnectedness of our inner worlds, showing that for one empire to flourish, the others must also be nurtured. This holistic approach is what separates the 5 a.m. Club philosophy from many other self-help systems, as it demands comprehensive self-care and balanced growth. The 4 empires that constitute our inner world are mindset, our psychological dimension; heart set, our emotional dimension; health set, our physical dimension; and soul set, our spiritual dimension. Each one represents a vital source of personal power. Mindset is about the quality of your thoughts. Heart set is about the purity of your feelings. Health set is about your physical vitality and longevity. And soul set is about your connection to a deeper sense of purpose and the spiritual side of your nature. Mastering your life, therefore, means becoming the king or queen of this entire inner kingdom, not just one small part of it. The 20-20-20 formula is designed to nourish all 4 of these realms daily. The billionaire's core message here is profound. Rise first in your inner world, and your outer world will follow. This means that the external success most people chase, wealth, fame, status, is merely a reflection of the state of their 4 interior empires. Instead of focusing on acquiring more things in the outer world, the true path to greatness lies in cultivating the richness of your inner world first. By strengthening your mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set each morning, you build a foundation of inner power that naturally translates into exceptional results in your career, relationships, and overall quality of life. This is the secret to creating a life that is not only successful, but also deeply meaningful. The first of the 4 domains is mindset, which relates to your psychology. This is the empire that most people are familiar with. It really encompasses your beliefs, your focus, your paradigms, and the stories you tell yourself about who you are and what you are capable of achieving. The billionaire explains that your thoughts create your reality. If you have a mindset rooted in scarcity, victimization, and limitation, your life will reflect that. On the other hand, cultivating a mindset of abundance, possibility, and optimism is really the first step toward creating extraordinary outcomes. The Grow Pocket of the 20-20-20 formula, where you read and learn, is specifically designed to upgrade your mindset daily by exposing it to world-class ideas. The second interior empire, and one that is often overlooked, is heartset. This refers to your emotional life and well-being. The billionaire teaches that it's impossible to perform at an elite level if your heart is filled with unresolved anger, sadness, disappointment, or jealousy from past experiences. These negative emotions drain your precious energy and sabotage your best efforts. Mastering your heartset means processing and releasing these toxic feelings, forgiving those who have wronged you, and cultivating emotions like gratitude, compassion, and love. The Reflect Pocket, where you journal and express gratitude, is a powerful daily practice for purifying and strengthening your heartset, ensuring your emotional core is healthy and resilient. Mr. Riley emphasizes that your heartset is just as important, if not more so, than your mindset. He states that your emotional life directs your cognitive life. No amount of positive thinking can override a heart that is wounded and heavy. A great mindset on top of a broken heartset is like building a skyscraper on a fragile foundation. It is destined to collapse. True masters understand that emotional healing is a prerequisite for peak performance. They work diligently to ensure their emotional home is a place of peace, joy, and unconditional love, which then allows their mindset to operate at its highest potential without being dragged down by emotional baggage. Therefore, the journey to inner mastery requires a dual focus on both thinking and feeling. You must consciously choose empowering thoughts while also intentionally cultivating a positive emotional state. This is achieved through practices that cleanse the heart of past pains and fill it with gratitude for present blessings. When your thinking is clear and your emotions are pure, you create an unbreakable synergy between your mindset and heartset. This powerful alignment allows you to navigate life's challenges not just with intellectual strength, but with profound emotional wisdom and grace, making you a truly formidable and centered human being. The third interior empire is healthset, which governs your physical well-being. The billionaire makes it crystal clear that your health is your greatest wealth. Without physical vitality, all the money, success, and positive thinking in the world are meaningless. He argues that many ambitious people sacrifice their health in the pursuit of their goals, only to spend all their accumulated wealth later in life trying to buy their health back. Mastering your health set is really about being proactive, treating your body like a temple, and understanding that peak energy is the lifeblood of genius. The Move Pocket of the 20-20-20 formula is the daily ritual dedicated to fortifying this crucial empire. This empire is about more than just exercise. It encompasses your nutrition, your hydration, and, most importantly, your sleep. The billionaire teaches the artist and the entrepreneur about the critical importance of creating a pre-sleep ritual to ensure deep restorative rest, as this is when the body and brain repair themselves. He stresses that discipline is not born from a tired body. Longevity and sustained high performance are only possible when you make your physical health a top priority. By consistently investing in your health set, you build the raw energy and resilience needed to show up at your best every single day for decades to come. The fourth and final interior empire is soul set. This is perhaps the most personal and profound of the four. Soul set refers to your spiritual dimension, your connection to the deepest and wisest part of yourself. It is about contemplating your purpose, connecting with your core values, and finding meaning beyond the material world. The billionaire explains that a depleted soul set leads to a life that feels empty and hollow, no matter how much external success you achieve. It is the quiet voice of your soul that reminds you of who you truly are and why you are here. Nurturing this empire is what brings true fulfillment and inner peace. The practices of meditation and solitude within the Reflect Pocket are essential for nourishing your soul set. This is your time to disconnect from the noise of the world and reconnect with your inner spirit. It is a time for stillness, for prayer, for contemplating life's big questions. By regularly tending to your soul set, you anchor yourself in a sense of purpose that transcends daily struggles and triumphs. Balancing all four of these empires, mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set, is the ultimate key. It is the integrated path to not just achieving greatness, but living a life that is truly legendary, rich, and deeply satisfying on every level. The billionaire, Mr. Riley, now shifts the conversation to one of the most formidable adversaries on the path to mastery, the constant, unrelenting noise of modern life. He explains to the artist and the entrepreneur that we live in an age of mass distraction, an era where our most precious resource, our focus, is under continuous assault. Every notification, every social media feed, every breaking news alert is meticulously designed to hijack our attention and pull us away from deep, meaningful work. He describes this modern environment as a battlefield, where a silent war is being waged for our cognitive bandwidth. The winners in this new economy will be those who can fiercely protect their focus from these digital weapons of mass distraction. He teaches that our creative output and our ability to produce work of genuine value are directly threatened by this culture of constant connectivity. Most people have developed what he calls an addiction to distraction, unconsciously trading their highest potential for trivial amusements and superficial digital interactions. This addiction fragments their attention, prevents them from entering a state of flow, and ultimately leads to a life of shallow work and unfulfilled ambitions. As the billionaire poetically states, an addiction to distraction is the death of your creative production. To become a true hero of productivity, one must first become a warrior of focus, willing to fight for their mental clarity each and every day. The problem, he elaborates, is that these distractions are not benign. They rewire our brains, shortening our attention spans and conditioning us to crave constant novelty and stimulation. This makes it increasingly difficult to sustain the prolonged, uninterrupted concentration required for genius-level work. Every time we yield to the temptation of checking our phone or browsing the internet, we weaken our focus muscle and make ourselves more susceptible to the next interruption. This cycle of distraction not only diminishes the quality of our work, but also depletes our mental energy, leaving us feeling scattered, overwhelmed, and unproductive even after a busy day. This is precisely why the early morning is so sacred. The 5 a.m. victory hour is more than just a time for self-improvement. It is a strategic retreat from this battlefield. It is a mental fortress, a sanctuary where you can escape the noise of the world and engage in the deep work that matters most. By starting your day in this protected bubble of tranquility, you reclaim your cognitive resources before the world has a chance to steal them. You train your brain to value deep focus over shallow distraction, setting a powerful precedent that helps you better resist the digital deluge throughout the rest of your day. Having established the dangers of modern distraction, the billionaire now offers the artist and the entrepreneur some really practical tactics for building and defending their fortress of focus. The first and, honestly, the most critical rule is to create a technology-free sanctuary in the morning. He instructs them to make a strict vow: no phone, no email, no social media, until after the 60-minute 20-20-20 routine is complete. Your phone should not be the first thing you touch in the morning. Instead of waking up and immediately plugging into the world's agenda, you must first connect with your own. This simple discipline prevents the day's chaos from infiltrating your mind during its most creative and impressionable state. The second key tactic involves protecting the gateway to a great morning, a great night's sleep. The billionaire emphasizes that discipline and willpower are fueled by deep rest. To ensure you have the energy to wake up at 5 a.m. and the focus to perform at your best, you must treat your sleep as a sacred ritual. He advises them to create a pre-sleep ritual, which involves shutting down all screens at least 90 minutes before bed, as the blue light emitted from devices disrupts melatonin production. This time can be used for light reading, listening to calming music, or having a quiet conversation with a loved one, signaling to your body and mind that it is time to wind down. Furthermore, he teaches them to view sleep not as a passive activity, but as an active tool for high performance. Just as an elite athlete fuels their body with the best nutrition, a cognitive athlete must fuel their brain with high-quality sleep. This means optimizing your bedroom environment, making it cool, dark, and quiet, and treating your bedtime as a non-negotiable appointment. When you consistently get deep, restorative sleep, you wake up with a full tank of willpower, making it infinitely easier to resist the snooze button and the lure of morning distractions. Sleep is not a luxury, it is the fuel for world-class discipline and focus. Ultimately, the billionaire's lesson is that exceptional focus is not a gift, but a skill that is built through deliberate practice and environmental design. By eliminating morning distractions and prioritizing sleep, you create the conditions necessary for deep work to flourish. You are not just fighting against distraction, you are proactively building a life that is architected for focus, creativity, and peak performance. This disciplined approach transforms your morning routine from a simple habit into a powerful fortress that protects your most valuable assets, your time, your attention, and your creative energy, allowing you to produce work that truly matters. The billionaire Stone Riley had provided the artist and the entrepreneur with a complete blueprint for a legendary life, but, knowledge alone is not enough. The next phase of their journey was really about implementation, the daily grind of turning theory into practice. Mr. Riley was quick to warn them that the path of change is never a straight line. He introduced them to his powerful three-step framework for installing any new habit. All change, he explained, is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. The initial days of waking at 5 a.m. were a genuine struggle. Their minds produced 1,000 excuses, and the warmth of their beds felt like an irresistible force. This was the hard at first phase, a test of their true commitment. As they pushed through the initial resistance, they entered the messy and the middle phase. This was a period of inconsistency and frustration. Some mornings they would wake up feeling energized and powerful, flawlessly executing the 20-20-20 formula. On other days, they would oversleep, feel clumsy during their workout, or find their minds wandering during reflection. The artist struggled to translate his newfound morning clarity onto the canvas, and the entrepreneur found it difficult to implement her new focus amidst the existing chaos of her business. This phase was confusing and disheartening, a time when it would have been easy to give up and declare the system a failure. It was the true test of their resolve. However, the billionaire's mentorship was crucial during this messy period. He reminded them that this stage was a natural and necessary part of rewiring their brains and reshaping their identities. Every stumble was a learning opportunity, and every small victory was building new neural pathways. He encouraged them to be patient with themselves, to celebrate progress over perfection. The artist began to notice fleeting moments of pure, unforced creativity returning to him during his morning reflections. The entrepreneur started making small, strategic changes in her company, born from the clarity she gained in the quiet of the dawn. They were shedding their old selves, and the process was inherently chaotic, like a caterpillar dissolving inside its chrysalis. This messy middle is where most people abandon their resolutions. It lacks the excitement of starting something new and the satisfaction of achieving mastery. It is simply about showing up day after day, especially on the days you do not feel like it. The artist and the entrepreneur learned that this was the essence of building character. They were not just installing a new habit, they were forging a new identity. They were becoming the kind of people who honor their promises to themselves, who persist through discomfort, and who understand that the journey to legendary is paved with the stones of daily, imperfect effort. This was the crucible where their transformation was truly taking place. After weeks of navigating the messy middle with persistence and grit, something remarkable began to happen. The artist and the entrepreneur started to experience the final stage of the process, the gorgeous at the end. Waking up at 5 a.m. was no longer a battle. It became automatic, a natural part of their rhythm. The 20-20-20 formula transformed from a rigid set of instructions into a cherished and sacred personal ritual, a source of immense power and peace. The daily practice was no longer something they had to do, it was something they got to do. It had become an essential part of who they were, and the results began to manifest spectacularly in their outer worlds. The artist, once blocked and uninspired, found his creativity flowing like never before. His morning routine filled his wellspring of inspiration, and his work took on a new depth, vibrancy, and soulfulness that stunned the art world. He was no longer just a painter, he was a visionary, creating masterpieces that spoke to the hearts of many. The entrepreneur, previously on the verge of burnout, had found a profound sense of clarity and calm. She streamlined her business, delegated tasks with wisdom, and led her team with a newfound energy and purpose. Her company thrived, but more importantly, she found joy and fulfillment in her work again, balancing immense success with deep inner peace. They learned through their own experience the most powerful lesson the billionaire had to offer. Greatness is not an event, but a process. It is the long-term result of small, smart choices performed consistently over time. There was no magic pill or single breakthrough moment. Their legendary status was earned, one morning at a time, through the disciplined application of the system. They understood that they did not need luck or some innate special talent to achieve extraordinary things. What they needed was a system, a daily ritual that would compound their efforts and build momentum toward their grandest ambitions. The 5 a.m. Club was that system. As the story of their transformation concludes, the artist and the entrepreneur have become living proof of the philosophy. They are no longer the struggling individuals we met at the seminar. They are titans in their respective fields, radiating vitality, focus, and joy. Their journey illustrates that anyone, regardless of their starting point, can achieve greatness if they are willing to do the work. Their story is not just an ending, but a new beginning, a testament to the fact that a world-class life is available to all who have the courage to wake up and claim it before the sun rises. As our journey through the teachings of the 5 a.m. Club comes to a close, we are left with a single resonant truth: the entire architecture of a legendary life can be built upon the foundation of one simple decision. It is the decision to rise before the sun, to claim the quiet, sacred hours of the early morning as your own. Imagine for a moment the profound ripple effect of this choice. Picture yourself waking up tomorrow at 5 a.m., not with a sense of dread, but with a feeling of purpose and anticipation. Before the world has a chance to impose its demands and distractions upon you, you have already dedicated a full hour to strengthening your body, clarifying your mind, and nourishing your soul. This is not a fantasy, it is a tangible reality available to you. This initial act of discipline, repeated daily, becomes the catalyst for a cascade of positive transformations. The lessons from the billionaire, the artist, and the entrepreneur show us that this is not merely about waking up early, it is about activating your highest potential. It is about consciously designing a day filled with focus, energy, and peace, rather than passively reacting to a day filled with chaos and stress. The 20-20-20 formula is not just a routine. It is a daily ritual of self-love and self-investment. It is a declaration to yourself and to the universe that you are committed to becoming the person you were always meant to be, one deliberate morning at a time. The transformations of the characters in the story, from the blocked artist to the burnt-out entrepreneur, serve as a powerful testament to this principle. Their stories are our stories. We all have fallow periods of creativity. We all face moments of overwhelming pressure and burnout. Their journey from struggle to mastery illustrates that the antidote is not found in a dramatic, life-altering event, but in the quiet, consistent application of a world-class morning routine. They prove that by taking control of the first hour, you can fundamentally change the trajectory of your entire life, unlocking reserves of talent, energy, and joy you may not have known you possessed. Ultimately, the power lies not in the complexity of the system, but in its elegant simplicity. It all boils down to a choice. You can choose to remain in the comfort of your bed, allowing the precious morning hours to slip away, and with them, the opportunity for profound growth. Or you can choose to rise, to join the ranks of the titans and history makers who understood that the early morning holds the keys to victory. This single decision, made consistently, is the difference between a life lived by default and a life lived by design. It is the first step on the path to owning your morning, and in doing so, owning your life. It is crucial to understand that the 5 a.m. Club is far more than a productivity hack or a time management technique. It is a complete and holistic philosophy for living a life of deep meaning, joy, and impact. Waking up at 5 a.m. is merely the entry point, the gateway to a richer inner world. The true essence of the philosophy lies in the mastery of the 4 interior empires: your mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set. This framework teaches us that lasting success and fulfillment can only be achieved when we nurture all aspects of our being in a balanced and integrated way. A brilliant mind is useless without a healthy body, and a strong body is empty without a peaceful heart and a connected soul. This philosophy challenges us to redefine our definition of success. In a world that often glorifies the relentless hustle, financial wealth, and public acclaim, the 5 a.m. Club offers a more profound alternative. It suggests that true wealth is found in abundant energy, genuine happiness, and inner peace. It teaches that the greatest victories are not those won in the boardroom or on the public stage, but those won in the silent, pre-dawn hours. The victory over laziness, the victory over distraction, and the victory over self-doubt. This is a life system that prioritizes inner richness over outer accolades, understanding that the former inevitably leads to the latter in a more sustainable and fulfilling way. By embracing this philosophy, you are making a commitment to lifelong growth. The final pocket of the 20-20-20 formula, GROW, is a testament to the idea that learning should never end. It instills the habit of continuous improvement, ensuring that you are always evolving, adapting, and becoming a better version of yourself. This is not about a 66-day challenge that you complete and then forget. It is about installing an operating system for life. It is about becoming a perpetual student of mastery, dedicated to exploring the furthest reaches of your human potential for the rest of your days on Earth, fueled by the momentum you build each morning. Therefore, as you consider the message of this book, look beyond the alarm clock. See the deeper invitation being offered. It is an invitation to live more consciously, to care for yourself more holistically, and to build a life that is not only impressive on the outside, but also deeply satisfying on the inside. It is a call to become a warrior against the distractions that diminish your greatness, and to build an inner fortress of power, peace, and purpose. The 5 a.m. Club is not just about changing your morning, it is about elevating your entire existence. We have journeyed through the story, we have unpacked the formulas, and we have explored the philosophies. Now the narrative turns to you. The final pages of this summary are not a conclusion but an invitation. Just as the billionaire extended an invitation to the artist and the entrepreneur, Robin Sharma's work extends a personal invitation to you. It is an invitation to step out of the crowd of the sleeping masses and join a small, elite group of individuals who are committed to maximizing their lives. It is an invitation to stop dreaming about your potential and to start actively building it every single day. The central question that this body of work leaves us with is simple, yet profound. Will you join the 5 a.m. Club, or will you continue to sleep through your potential? This is not a question to be answered lightly. It asks you to confront your ambitions, your excuses, and your deepest desires for your life. It challenges you to believe that you are capable of so much more than you are currently demonstrating. It dares you to trade the temporary comfort of the snooze button for the permanent satisfaction of a life well lived, a life filled with accomplishment, vitality, and peace. Embracing this path will not be easy. As we have learned, all change is hard at first and messy in the middle. There will be mornings when your resolve falters, and the temptation to quit feels overwhelming. But the story of the artist and the entrepreneur shows us what lies on the other side of that struggle. A reality that is truly gorgeous at the end. It is a reality where you are in control of your days, where your creativity flows freely, where your energy is boundless, and where you feel a deep connection to your purpose. This is the promised land that awaits those with the courage to persist. So the choice is now yours. The system has been laid out before you. The path to legendary has been illuminated. You can see this as just another interesting set of ideas, or you can see it as the personal call to action it is meant to be. The sun will rise tomorrow, and with it comes a fresh opportunity to begin anew. Will you rise with it? Will you claim that first golden hour as your own? The invitation to greatness has been delivered. How you choose to respond will determine the story of the rest of your life.